Lies of P is a Souls-like game that takes a dark twist on the story of Pinocchio. The action RPG is incredibly difficult, as most Souls-like games are, and it's especially difficult if you've never played any other games like it, like me. I'm gonna try to be sneaky and hit him. Yeah, be sneaky and hit him, Trav. That'll work. I don't want to do this, man. Oh god, he runs at me! No, you get out of here! I tried to block, I tried to block, I tried to block, I tried to block. Before we go any further, this is your warning that this video will contain spoilers for Lies of P, so if you're someone who plans on playing this and you don't want the story spoiled, go watch one of my other videos. There are 43 total trophies in Lies of P, 26 bronzes, like... Boom! And we got our first trophy! Fatal blow, deliver a successful fatal attack! Only 2 deaths! We're off to a better start than I thought we'd be. 13 silvers, 3 golds for the 3 different endings, and of course, number 43 is the illustrious Platinum Trophy. The estimated difficulty to obtain this Platinum is anywhere from a 7.5 to 9 out of 10, depending on where you look, so it's easily going to be my most difficult challenge to date. In order to collect certain trophies, like the 3 endings and Golden Melody, a second and potentially third playthrough will be needed. Repair the Stargazer? Was that what that was called? That's the high of a Souls game, I can imagine. Stargazer. Use a Stargazer for fully recovering HP and stamina as well. Hey! Stargazer's Guide. Repair a Stargazer. W. Figuring out who we are in this world leads us on a warpath, eviscerating puppets of all shapes and sizes around every corner. A mysterious voice comes through the Stargazer from someone called Sophia, and she informs us that, as we are not strong enough to defeat the puppets.
Now, you might feel a slight tingling, but believe me, you'll sleep like a baby. Hinting
at some sort of puppet uprising and that we are somewhere called Krat. She requests our presence at Hotel Krat, but unfortunately our way is blocked by a monstrosity known as the Parade Master. Huh? What do I do? How do I fight this thing? It's huge! Now, the Parade Master isn't really a difficult fight if you've done this before, but as this was my first Souls-like boss, I definitely took my lumps. Damn. Damn it. Damn. I had a chance to stun him.
I have crippling depression.
There we go. The ultimate defense technique. Wait, what is that? Can I pause? Can I pause? I don't know. Destroy an enemy's weapon with a perfect guard. Okay, wow. After a handful of trying attempts, it finally happened, and I figured it out. Take him out. Take him out! Let's go! Parade Master! Kill the Parade Master! Eliminated!
So you'll have to lie to get inside.
Oh, okay.
You're a special puppet after all.
I'm a real boy. I'm not a puppet. I'm a real boy. Who are you? I'm a real boy. First lie. Trophy earned. Tell a lie in front of Hotel Krat. Arriving at the Hotel Krat leads to an in-person introduction to Sophia and the addition of our friend Gemini. I'm assuming Jiminy Cricket was trademarked, so they had to change his name, but Gemini is Jiminy Cricket. Sophia doesn't give us much to go on, but says we need to travel to Elisian Boulevard and find our father, Geppetto. She also informs us that she can level us up by using the ergo we've earned throughout our journey, something you'll definitely want to take advantage of when you're playing through the game. Wandering around the hotel, we meet the cast of characters who will be helping us along our journey: Eugenie, Lady Antonia, and her loyal puppet butler, Polendina. There are a few more characters that we'll meet here later on, but that's for another time. Battling through Elisian Boulevard brings us some new enemies, some with longer weapons like pitchforks that absolutely rip you up if you don't block, and others that throw stuff at you from far away because they're too weak to fight up close, and they end up being pretty easy kills if you can avoid their throws. Killing our first dimensional butterfly in this area starts us on the path to earning the From Across the Rift trophy, which requires us to kill one of each type of the dimensional butterflies. I mentioned earlier that there are 3 different endings in Lies of P. 2 of them are very similar, and the third is the complete opposite of the others. In order to get the ending I'm going for, called Rise of P, I have to lie throughout the playthrough. Now, to be a little bit clearer on that than the game is, you don't have to lie every single time you get a dialogue choice, because some of them are definitely cloudy as far as which is the lie and which is the truth. Lying in the game can also be called gaining humanity, which will make more sense later, but a good rule of thumb is, if you're going for your lie playthrough, choose the more humane dialogue options throughout and you should be fine. After promising to bring the Window Lady's baby back to her, we run into the Mad Donkey, our first stalker fight. Take him out. Oh, the bastards and the sweepers kill a stalker. It only killed me one time. I beat that in the second fight. I'm getting better at this game. Meeting Geppetto for the first time, he reacts as if he's never met us before, which was a little confusing at first. Nonetheless, we move past and try to assemble our first custom weapon. Exploring possibilities. Try to assemble a weapon. I am very intrigued to see if this is any good or not. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. It sucked. So something you guys aren't seeing right now is that after I got to this point, I made a huge mistake. One of the trophies requires you to use your rare ergo from defeating bosses in order to purchase rare weapons from a dealer that we'll meet later on. Well, not thinking about it, I decided to use the ergo from killing the parade master, and I basically locked myself out of getting that trophy, so rather than playing it out, I restarted the game. The next boss is the scrapped watchman, and it's also the first boss fight where we get to use a specter, basically someone to help in the fight and be a damage sponge so people that are noobs like me have a chance at winning. Oh mama. I thought the Mad Donkey was a boss fight. Apparently that was a mini boss. Great. Good to know. What is going on here? Oh, dear God. I am significantly more intimidated than I was in the first boss fight. Oh, my goodness. By the skin of my teeth. Scrapped Watchman. Trophy earned. Kill the Scrapped Watchman. By the skin of my teeth. Oh. I returned the baby, which ended up being a puppet, to the weeping lady at the window. She thanked us for it by giving us our first record, starting us on the way to the Golden Melody trophy. I also made sure to lie and tell her that her baby was cute instead of telling her that it was a puppet. Talking to Daddy Geppetto, he tells us about another leveling system in the game called the P Organ, which, in my opinion, is a horrible name, but it does end up being super important as you get further in the game because it does things like giving you additional damage on attacks, increasing your guard regain, and so much more. Quartz is the material needed to level this, but it is very difficult to come by, so make sure you're using it wisely, unlike me who kind of just threw stuff into random areas, and I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't know how to actually build a good character in this game. Another trophy titled End of Riddles is earned by finding all of the Trinity Sanctums. In order to do that, you have to collect all of the Trinity Keys, and in order to do that, you have to answer all of the riddles that the King of Riddles gives you through these phones. The next area is Venini Works, a factory owned and operated by the Playboy of Krat, Lorenzini Venini. The factory is packed with hard enemies, including the Puppet of the Future, the Survivor, and these damn things that I still don't know the name of, but killed me repeatedly throughout my playthroughs. Venini is a longtime friend of Geppetto, who we do end up finding in the factory, and he informs us that his King's Flame Fuoco has gone mad. I don't even know what this guy looks like. I actually haven't seen or heard anything. Is he just a furnace? Oh, he looks... Yo. Oh, snap, crackle, and pop, Rice Krispies. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! Oh, okay. He only killed me 3 or 4 times. King's Flame trophy earned. Kill King's Flame Fuoco. Okay, a cutscene that I didn't expect to get. What is that? Am I about to fight like a boss or something right now? Is that a zombie? That's a human. After discovering the zombies that are actually called carcasses, we make it to the St. Frangelico Cathedral. We meet a mysterious character called Giangio, who clearly has some things to hide, but seems chill enough at the time as he gives us the cube and tells us about the gold coin fruit, which could potentially end the enduring plague. Knowing I need to level up some more, and also I had a cryptic vessel, which is the first of 6 in the game, I had Venini decode it and went and solved it. Remember that rare weapons dealer I was talking about earlier? His name is Alidoro the Hound, and he can be found in the cathedral. However, you'll want to lie to him at first and send him anywhere other than Hotel Krat to keep your lie playthrough in order. We make our way through the cathedral to find the Archbishop, but unfortunately for us, Andreas has fallen from grace and has been stricken by the petrification disease. He's now an unholy monster, and for me, one of the 3 most difficult boss fights in this game. Okay. I don't... Oh, was he the creepy thing I saw at the start? Oh, you were the freaky nasty I saw when I first got here. Oh, dear God. Okay. Oh, the attention to detail is insane. That's so sick. I killed it on the first try? Oh, no, God, apparently I didn't. Oh, he's about to be fugly. He's just teeth. Get him, get him, get him, get him. go! Yes! Oh, that is the worst boss I've ever experienced in video games ever. Once the Archbishop is finally defeated, we get a cutscene where we see the ergo from each of the bosses we've killed so far being sucked away into some cannon-like object and shot into a chalice of sorts, with some creepy figure laughing menacingly, presumably the big bad of the game. The path of the pilgrim leads us into the Malum district, which is home to the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, a notorious criminal group of 4 stalkers who are apparently also siblings according to their dialogue. The Brotherhood consists of the eldest, the battle maniac, the youngest, and the eccentric, and they all fight in their own distinctive styles. Unfortunately, the one style they do share is gang warfare, as even in a boss fight which is supposed to be against just the eldest, who's also easily the strongest, the other 3 jump into his aid throughout the fight. Oh, damn. Okay. The delayed match. Thank God I bought those throwables. Kill the eldest of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Make sure when you're exiting the Malum district that you grab this portrait of someone who looks eerily similar to P and take it to the hotel, where Geppetto will tell you that the portrait is of you before you became a puppet. En route to the hotel, you should once again run into Giangio and grab a gold coin fruit. Bear, gold,
I never expected to see the gold coin tree in a place like this.
Rosa Isabelle Street presents a whole new set of challenges as we run into mini bosses like the White Lady and the Mad Clown Puppet before entering the Estella Opera House, which is filled with creepy little doll girls and their spider moms who hit you with disruption, which will auto-kill you if the meter gets full. Fighting our way through the disruption, we come to the leader of the Puppet Rebellion, Romeo, the King of Puppets.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
What are you talking about? I'm right here. You're looking right at me.
Oh, what the hell? Is that the King of Puppets or whatever?
Where's the 5 fingers? Say to the face! What? Slap!
And that'll give us the King of Puppets trophy. Let's go. The Grand Exhibition was once a great display of the future of puppet technology and has now been overrun by the puppet frenzy. And very shortly after arriving in the Grand Exhibition, we killed our 5th and final dimensional butterfly to earn the trophy for that. The area consists of the Lorenzini arcade, which is filled to the brim with carcasses, and the Grand Exhibition gallery that's littered with puppets and robots. Each area, as usual, also contains big enemies with big health bars, but they're nothing compared to what we face off against when arriving in the Grand Exhibition conference room. Getting there puts us face to face with Champion Victor, a mutated human who was infected by the petrification disease, and is extremely loyal to the Alchemists. As usual, there are 2 rounds to the fight with this boss, and the second phase is significantly tougher than the first. Once you get Victor to half health, he decides to pump himself up with more HGH than LeBron James could ever take,
LeBron James!
and turns into an ergoed out blue monster. A tough fight that I somehow beat on my first attempt. It's safe to say that I was pretty hyped when it was over. Yes! Yes! First try! 1 time is all it took, you big bitch! Immediately after the fight, we're put into a cutscene where Victor is cut down by a mysterious armor-clad warrior who we'll meet again later, and the leader of the Alchemists, Simon Manus. Manus is a complete nutjob who believes that he can become a god by harnessing the essence of Ergo, and he basically invites us to the Isle of the Alchemists to witness his triumph firsthand, but the road to getting to him is not one to be trifled with. Starting Chapter 8 finally puts us in the final quarter of the game as we arrive in the Barren Swamp. Alidoro the Hound decided to leave the hotel and make a pit stop in the Barren Swamp for reasons unknown to us, and we learn a lot more about him specifically in this chapter, but we'll get there in a minute. Mini bosses were aplenty throughout the swamp between 2 more puppets of the future, the Owl Doctor, and some larger carcass enemies. We definitely had our work cut out for us as we made it to a new friend, Hugo. Hugo is a rookie explorer who actually idolizes Alidoro but gives us some disturbing information about him. He hands us a wanted poster that claims the Hound is wanted for murder amongst other things. We confront him about it and of course he denies everything, but his motives seem extremely unclear at the moment. The swamp has been holding a lot more than meets the eye as we run up to find our next boss, the puppet devouring green monster, or simply the swamp monster as I've been calling it. This fella was not in my top 3 boss fights as far as difficulty, but it wasn't too far out. I'd say it was top 5. It only got me a handful of times, but it felt like a more daunting challenge than most other fights.
I got what I wanted thanks to you. The last hero weapon is...
What felt like several days after I got my last one, I finally got 2 more non-boss related trophies, upgrading the Flamberge Legion arm to its max level, nabbing myself the strongest Legion arm trophy. Yeah, I got another Legion plug, and I'm about 90% sure this should be for my last Legion arm, in which case, if it is, it should pop me a trophy for getting it. Haha! Legion arm collector, collect all Legion arms, 28%. Now this is where the game really started to get real for me. Everything to this point, no matter how difficult I thought it was, ends up feeling like a walk in the park. Discovering the collapsing area of Krat, we really get a more zoomed in version of just how badly this plague has destroyed the city. It's filled with disruption crystals, and it felt like it had more enemies than other areas throughout the game. Maybe it didn't, but it felt like it. There is a boss in this area that makes everything so much harder depending on how you fight it. Me being the cheesy boy that I am and knowing that I'm not that good at this game, I just kept spamming throwables at the Walker of Illusions because honestly I didn't think I could kill it. This turned out to be probably my biggest mistake of the entire playthrough because as soon as I killed it, which doesn't give you a trophy by the way, I entered an elevator which proceeded to break down as I received intel that the hotel was attacked. Much like at the beginning of the game, in order to get to the hotel, I had to go through the parade master, but this time it was so much worse. Having no access to other stargazers, making me unable to be a cheese lord with my throwables, I had to fight this corrupted version of the parade master mano a mano, and that mono whooped my ass up and down the street. Come on. Swing the damn thing. Yes! Corrupted Parade Master, dead. That thing killed me so many times. Making it back to the hotel, we're informed that the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, who we ran into earlier, teamed up with Alidoro to attack the hotel, forcing everyone to barricade themselves into Geppetto's room. Oh, and they also kidnapped Geppetto to take him to the Isle of the Alchemists. I realized that killing the corrupted Parade Master gave me a full Moonstone, which I was pretty sure I needed to max level one of my weapons. Oh, I can upgrade this to 10. That should be, that should be max level, huh? Which, if I'm not mistaken, that should pop me a trophy when I do this. Strongest normal weapon. Trophy earned, strengthen a normal weapon to its max level. Hell yeah, let's go. We also find out that a secret passage to the Isle has been located inside the hotel all along, and after playing a pretty tune, we head there. Once in the passageway, we're very quickly met by the Black Rabbit Brotherhood in what was easily my least favorite boss fight in the game. It's not incredibly difficult, but having to fight all of these idiots at the same time for the second time wasn't something I was really excited about. To add an extra wrinkle to the fight, when you've killed 2 of the 3, the eldest comes back to life somehow, just jumps out of his coffin, and joins the fray. So if you want to save yourself some trouble, try to take out your 2nd and 3rd Brotherhood member pretty much simultaneously. Also, back to being a cheesy boy, I hid behind this rock wall to spam the eldest and officially move on from the Sisterhood of the Traveling Freakin' Pants. Yes! Revenge of Black. Black Rabbit Brotherhood, dead. This post-fight confrontation with Alidoro leads to him telling us that he, in fact, isn't the real Alidoro, as he was once his partner but killed him when the Hound called him out for selling artifacts. Knowing what we know now and how he attacked our friends, it's time to end this bad dog once and for all, and with a swift swipe of our blade, Imposter Alidoro is no more. Once you take him out, you end up getting another cryptic vessel, and this part is very, very important. When you go back to the hotel, make sure you have Venini decode the vessel before you talk to Eugenie. If you don't, you'll miss out on earning the Story of a Stranger Girl trophy during your current playthrough. We discover that the real Alidoro was actually her brother, and we'll have to tell her during our New Game Plus run in order to get that trophy because I did it out of order. We make a horrible discovery after a talk with Venini, realizing that Geppetto is the one who caused the puppet frenzy after his son Carlo died. Reaching the Isle of Alchemists has us run into Sophia again, but she tells us that she's never actually been with us, as she's locked in her room, stuck in a state of purgatory pretty much, and she needs our help. We have several obstacles blocking our way, like the Door Guardian and a ton of other mini-boss level fights. While you're in this chapter, make sure you talk to test subject 826, as he's important to getting a few late game trophies. I return to the hotel after some fighting to upgrade my Holy Sword of the Ark to max level, and to hit phase 5 within the P organ, getting us to 40% on this platinum journey. Completing all of the riddles got us the Chosen One's key, which I used to open the final Trinity Sanctum and find the King of Riddles stuck to the wall. An insane murderous puppet that kills humans for sport, but more on that shortly. Continuing through this chapter, I find a red chest containing the final cryptic vessel and take it to Venini to decode. He succeeds and sends us to collapsing Krat to meet with the wandering merchant, but in order for the merchant to give us what we came for, we have to have the Frozen Feast rare weapon equipped when talking to him. Doing so gives us the Veteran Explorer trophy. Now we're on to what I think is the second hardest boss fight in the game, Laxasia the Complete. Laxasia is Simon Manus' right hand and an absolute beast of a warrior. Her armor and shield are extremely hard to crack, and the second round of her fight involves her now controlling the power of electricity and spamming electro balls at us. After numerous failed attempts, the Complete is now incomplete. Post Laxasia is very important to the completionists of this game, because now is the time where we grab the story of the refined old lady when we find out that Lady Antonia has sadly passed away, and normal weapons collector if you've been diligent about collecting every weapon in the game. You get the last weapon from talking to test subject 826 on Rosa Isabel Street. Quickly returning to the final Trinity Sanctum, we read a book titled Scandal 5, The Tragedy Behind the Flamboyance, and it opens a new dialogue option where he tells us that he's the one who killed Venini's parents and basically turned him into the Krat Knight. He gives us the Moon World Warrior toy to take to Venini to see if he's remembered, and it actually brings some much needed closure to Lorenzini's life and the story of the Prince Trophy to ours. Right now, back in Sophia's room is one of the most important decisions of the game, as it will dictate which ending you end up getting. For the Rise of P ending, make sure you lied throughout and choose to give her peace. If done correctly, P's hair should change to her bluish silver color and gave me my final gesture, which also got me the Learning About Emotions trophy. We begin the trail to Simon Manus, and he made sure to pull out all the stops, littering the halls of his passageway with giant enemies throughout. Agreeing to avoid a fight with the Red Fox allows us to free Geppetto, who to me got more and more unlikable the further I got into the game. Our first up-close meeting with Simon Manus shows just how insane he truly is, as he decided to shoot himself up with Ergo in an attempt to make himself a god. He's got very slow attacks, so the first round ends up being relatively easy, especially if you have a Spectre and some heals for it. When he allows the Ergo to take over and becomes the awakened god, the fight gets real fast. He has wild attacks where it feels like you're being hit by a mix of lightning inside of tornadoes, but if you play your cards right, his close-up offense is pretty similar to the first half, and he can be beaten. Manus plans to use Sophia to put an end to us, but fails as she's now gone due to us giving her peace, which leads to Manus informing us of his love for her and that he knew he could never have her as he fades away. This finally brings us to the end of Lies of P, and as we go to talk to our father to finish things up, everything goes wrong. Geppetto decides we aren't his real son and therefore aren't good enough, so he asks us to give him Carlo's heart so he can resurrect his real son. We refuse, and he brings out a puppet only called the Nameless Puppet, who to me is far and away the hardest boss in the game. An insane mixture of power and speed, the Nameless Puppet is a difficult go in both rounds, but his attacks are a bit easier to block in round 1. Using the Aegis Shield Legion arm and making sure my special grindstone gave me perfect blocking for short periods of time, I finally was able to beat the Nameless Puppet and get our first ending, Rise of P. Yes! Yes! The first puppet killed the Nameless Puppet! Let's go, baby! Yes! What's happening? Oh, Geppetto took the blade?
Were you going to destroy Carlo's heart?
Oh, snap. He's crying. Puppets can't cry.
I'm sorry.
After Geppetto realizes we were his real son all along, he dies, and next we're seen using Sophia's Ergo to bring her back to life as a puppet. She's elated to be back with us, and the post-credits scene hints at a DLC or a sequel featuring Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. I choose to not start my New Game Plus playthrough just yet to grab a few more trophies. First, I go see Hugo, who's now wearing Alidoro's mask in hopes of bringing his name to its former glory, and buy the proof of humanity for our final rare weapon. My next stop is the piano in the room where we first met Lady Antonia, and we play a perfect tune, becoming the pianist of Krat. Lastly, I return to Geppetto's room and read a note on his desk from Sophia, earning us the story of the blue butterfly. Now I've reached a crossroads. I could either use the cloud save I made earlier to go back and grab a different ending trophy, or I could guarantee myself a third playthrough of Lies of P. As much as I would have enjoyed that, I knew what I had to do to get this video done sooner rather than later, so I loaded my cloud save from right before I refused to give my heart and rescinded that choice, giving Geppetto Carlo's heart. This ending is easily the worst of the three in my opinion, as it sees Geppetto use Carlo as a killing machine, taking out everyone in Krat and replacing them with puppets, as Geppetto sees that as the only way he can keep his son safe and Krat pure. Geppetto's a real piece of shit. Real boy, they all lived happily ever after. Get the real boy ending in Lies of P.
This finally feels like family. Thank you for returning, Carlo.
Jesus.
Is this truly the future you wanted?
Much like after the first ending, I don't go into New Game Plus just yet and go back to Geppetto's office and read his note, earning the story of one father. Now finally entering New Game Plus, I was shocked at how much less of a challenge the game was from what I was expecting. In the first playthrough you guys obviously saw, I died over 220 times, but in the second, I didn't even die 100. I don't know what happened. I know I didn't improve that much. It probably had a lot to do with me being so over-leveled, especially earlier in the game, but I was definitely happy with the results. I only needed to get 3 trophies in this playthrough, so let's get to it. First, I rectified my mistake with Eugenie earlier and let her know that Alidoro was in fact her brother. Second, after defeating Laxasia the Complete, I once again go and see test subject 826 at Rosa Isabel Street, and he sells me the final golden record I need, so I return to the hotel and play all of them and earn the Golden Melody trophy. Last and most certainly not least, the final ending called Free from the Puppet String sees us choose to let Sophia live this time and try to gain as little humanity as possible, then refuse to give Geppetto Carlo's heart and re-defeat the Nameless puppet, who once again sucked.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Give me the final ending. Give me the platinum, baby. Come on!
I know it. You're just a useless puppet.
Oh, I hate him so much. Free from the puppet string, reach the ending, and as soon as we back out of that, Lies of P platinum trophy earned. Obtain all trophies in Lies of P. This was far and away the most challenging platinum we've done on the channel, and I honestly can't wait to do more like it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because this was an incredible time to get done.